right. Nope. Okay. It's quiet time. Oh, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Are the people on Zoom, did you hit the recording? Thank you. Recording in progress.
Right, next slide. Next slide. No, just you need to say muted.
Hold on, sorry.
Okay.
No,
Yes. Okay, that's different.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I can talk really loud. Ready? Are you ready? All right. It is 6:30. We're calling the meeting to order. I have a really, really nice microphone and great speakers, so I actually could talk over you. But we're gonna get started. Sorry. Thank you for joining us today for today's meeting, either in person or online. We want to advise you that our meetings are being recorded for documentation and reference purposes. By continuing to be a part of this meeting, you can consent to being recorded. If you have any concerns of objections, you need to let us know before the meeting starts. For those of you on Zoom, it is for viewing only, and we're not able to interact with the room, but we are very close to actually having an interactive hybrid meeting. All right, today's agenda. We have three special guests. Our legislators are here. We're going to give you calls to action. I'm going to give you updates on canvassing, the voter guides, the neighbor to neighbor letters. I even have some voting data status that we took off of Uplift right before the meeting. So I'm going to tell you how many people have voted in our district as of today. Your agendas on the table. They have everything you're going to see in these slides are going to be on those agendas. All the QR codes, all of our canvassing, everything you need is on that paper. Please take it home with you. I printed it and made it just for you.
Okay, we'll do our land acknowledgement. Arizona LD12 Democrats acknowledge the land we gather on today is the ancestral homeland of indigenous nations that have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. We take this opportunity to thank the Hohokam, including the Akimal, O'odham, Pima, and P-Posh Maricopa peoples of the past, present, and future for their traditional care of this land and their resilience. Attached to this physical space is a painful history of forced removal, resulting in intentional genocide of its indigenous people. This history is important to all of us as a reminder not to cause further harm. We remain appreciative of our ability to teach, learn, and serve in such a space of importance and reverence.
I forgot.
Really quick. No. Bada Bing raffles tonight were generously donated by Jerry Koppel, one of our volunteers. And so we have the Crazy Cat Lady Cosmos, and I forget what the whole thing is, but it all is themed around orange. Orange you glad, da-da-da-da-da. We would like to welcome any first-time attendees. So if this is your first LD12 meeting, please raise your hand if you're comfortable and tell us your name. And Melissa and
I have a traveling
Nicole will give you a
microphone.
new attendee packet.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Thierry. I'm a candidate for the Tempe Elementary School Board. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Ray.
Oh. Your first name?
Marilyn Cooper.
Marilyn, from what city?
Right here.
In Ahwatukee. Okay.
Marilyn from Ahwatukee, welcome.
Louis? And you're from Ahwatukee.
Louis
Excellent.
from Ahwatukee, thank you.
Where I saw there was a hand over here. Get in there. Okay.
From Ahwatukee.
Debbie from Ahwatukee.
And
Christopher from Ahwatukee.
Hi, good evening. I'm Janie from Chandler.
Chandler, yes. Where else? Did I? Oh.
I'm Shauna. I'm with Yes on Proposition 139. Yay! I'm new to LD12, 3 months here, and we have yard signs, so come get yard signs. Thank you.
Okay, is there any new attendees on Zoom?
Oh, I forgot to look.
Yes, no, maybe? Okay. All right, we will welcome
Yes,
our
we-
elected officials now. If you're an elected official, please stand up so we can recognize you. First, we have Bridget Bellavina, Constable for Kyrene Justice Precinct. We have Jennifer Adams, Councilwoman for Tempe City Council. Senator Mitzi Epstein, our very own senator for LD12. Representative Patty Contreras, our very own LD12 representative. And I think that is all of our, wait, oh, Joel Navarro, Tempe City Council. Thank you. All right, and then any candidates for office also please stand so we can recognize you. We have Ray Theory for Tempe Elementary. Amy Satry for Kyrene Governing Board. Bunny Davis for Kyrene Governing Board. We have Greg Freeman for Maricopa County Assessor. We have Zana Prushanovsky for Chandler Unified School District. We have Joel Navarro for Maricopa County Board of Supervisors District 1. And then, of course, Patty Mitzi Stacy for LD12 Senate and House. All right, next up, I'm going to invite Jeff to come up and offer some memories of a couple of volunteers from LD12 who have recently passed.
Oh, no. Sorry, hold on. Okay, sorry.
Okay, wow. All right, boy, oh boy. Wow, this is really tough. We have lost a lot of great people in District 12 over the past 30 days. I just learned about a third person who we lost. The first is Ruth Levin. For those of you who knew Ruth, and for those who didn't know Ruth, she was just a powerhouse. She was an absolute fireball of democracy. She got involved with us in her mid-80s and basically, actually, sorry about that, in her late 70s and was with us until her early 90s. And in terms of the work that she did, she knocked on all of her doors in the Stellar Precinct. In fact, the Stellar Precinct, I think, was named after her. She was truly a remarkable woman. One of the things that really endeared Ruth, Ruth to our hearts is the fact that back in the 2009 election, she actually had a little bit of a run-in with one of the Republican candidates who tried beating up this old woman for a sign, a candidate sign that she was trying to install. He was trying to take it out of her hands. She made national news on it. If you go and look on Huffington Post, you'll see an article with Ruth Levin's name on it. So ultimately, we remember Ruth for all the wonderful things that she did for District 12. And boy, oh boy, her memory is just a treasure. She came to us from New York. When she was in New York, she held elected office. She was part of the League of Women Voters, and she retired here with us in Arizona. So the things that I'll remember about her is that she was always kind and always had something nice to say about everyone. So we will remember Ruth fondly. Uh-oh, looks like all right. Our next person that we're remembering, this is just really rough. I mean, we lost three really great people in a matter of 30 days. Linda Monheit. For those of you who may not know Linda Monheit, she was just a bundle of joy and happiness. And she was filled with drama, but not in the way that we typically use the word, oh, drama. She was very dramatic in the most wonderful way ever. She basically did everything with flair. She was such just an ebullient, absolutely wonderful, bright personality, and with the biggest smile, as you can see from the pictures up there. She always wanted to help. In fact, when I asked if she wanted to be a PC, she's like, Jeffrey Tucker, sign me up. And whenever she wanted to tell me something that, when I needed to listen to the words of wisdom that were coming from Linda, she would go, "Tit, tit, 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 tit," just to make me shut up so that I would listen to her. She was just absolutely wonderful. I'm going to miss her with all my heart. Now, the big story about her is that she was one of the people that was absolutely responsible for, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call you out at yet another meeting, Sean. One of the people that was responsible for helping get Sean elected. She really did a great job in doing the voice training, breathing training, all sorts of stuff. Linda was an opera singer, and basically her LinkedIn page says she's an opera lecturer. She's always had a song on her lips and was always just very happy, very wonderful. And ultimately, in terms of her voice training and her breathing training and all that sort of stuff, she helped Sean with his public speaking and helped him get elected. So, along with the 30,000 doors that Sean knocked on. So, all right. So we are totally going to miss Linda. She passed away at age 98, and boy, oh boy, I'm just going to remember her always smiling. So, we do have a third person, and oh my gosh, well, I know
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
wonderful.
Hi, so Eleanor Krebs is the third one that we lost. And yeah, many of you have met her. She lived in Alexander Precinct. For all of us Alexander folks, they were active with the HOA. And I first met Eleanor at a MoveOn.org house party, because as soon as she found out that MoveOn was doing house parties, she signed up. She said, how do I do this? And brought in all the neighbors she could find and just started discussions fearlessly. And she had something to say. And then they moved out of the neighborhood over to Friendship Village. Same kind of organizing, bringing neighbors together into her home, having discussion groups. She just was a real activist from the word go, and an organizer in spirit, and just made such a big difference for our LD to help us grow and to reach out and add more people and just spread the joy that is the way that Democrats care for each other. That was Eleanor, and she was terrific. I will miss her.
Thank you, Jeff and Mitzi, for honoring those members of LD12. Laura Junio from the Harris Walls campaign was not able to make it tonight, so they have weekly canvases. Her contact info is up here, but of course, selfishly, I'm going to tell you to come do our canvases. Next up, we have a call to action. We have our final batch of neighbor to neighbor letters that we are working on for voters that are not on the active early voting list. There's about 6,000 people that we are having letter writing parties for starting tomorrow through Saturday at various locations. There's a QR code on your agenda to sign up for those. They're at different times, different locations to hopefully accommodate everybody's schedule. Again, we're not distributing the letters to anybody to take home. We're going to work on them at the parties and get those mailed out right before Election Day. Next up, I would like to call our legislators up to give us a quick update. Stacy Travers could not be here tonight, so she sends her regards. Representative Contreras is up first.
Hi, good evening, everybody. And those ladies that they mentioned earlier are beautiful women and such stalwarts in our district. Gonna miss them. Especially Linda. She used to drive by my house. She had a little doggy in a red car and stuff. And she'd wave at me and the dog would bark and stuff. She'd drive by and this was really fun. So the neighbor to neighbor letters too. I just want to congratulate everybody who participated in that. I had actually one of my neighbors drove by my house the other day and he says, "Thanks for sending out those letters with the voter guide." So it works. Yes, he was very, very appreciative of it. And also, so they definitely work. They're making their mark out there, and hopefully people are getting their ballots turned in. I have convos with Contreras on Friday at Brick Road Coffee. It's from 4 to 6. And if you still have some questions about some of the ballot measures, come on over and we can chat about those. But I meet once a month at Brick Road Coffee from 4 to 6 there to just talk to constituents. So if you have anything else that you want to talk about, come on down. And I'll be out of town this week for a rural transportation summit. And it's I'm on the transportation committee at the House and all, but I just wanted to remind you that vote yes on Prop 479, which is our local Maricopa County transportation ballot measure that we need to pass so we can have good roads all throughout the county and all, and the rural people don't have to worry about us taking all their money for different things. So please vote yes on 479. And that's really all I have. We're just gearing up for the election. 3 more weeks. Yeah.
Thanks, Patty. I am Mitzi Epstein, your state senator, and I'm here to say we're so close. Is anybody else a little excited today? Yes, yes. Nervous. We're nervous. Well, let's. Oh, I know the nervousness. Well, let's channel all that nervousness into knocking on doors and sending out the letters you're sending out, and the postcards, everything that you're doing. Jump on a phone bank if you can. Do something. That's our mantra, right? And so many of you are doing so many things. I appreciate all of you. I want to talk about how fantastic it is that our blue ballot guide is not only fantastic and easy to read, and it's blue. I'm so excited. It's on blue paper this year, but it's exemplary. And because of our fabulous executive board who reached out to other LDs have borrowed our template or the idea and this outreach from our district, because we are the Rock'em Sock'emest district in the whole state. And our exec board is not happy just to be fantastic. They want to reach out and share ideas. And so other LDs have picked up on it too. And you can go to azdemocratsballot.org. Great. Awesome. Jerry's here. They're going to talk about it. I just want to take a moment to say, let's all give a big round of applause to our exec board because they rock the house. And as we go into this election, we do it together. Every single one of us, nobody who's getting elected is getting elected all by themselves. It's a teamwork job and we're all getting it done. The last little job request that I have for you is this. If you have a Republican or an independent in your household, so maybe you're getting those flyers and mailers from Republicans and independents, would you let Patty, Stacy, me, or Melissa know or take a photo of it, text it to me, something like that, so we can see what they're saying. If it's the usual lies, we're prepared for that. But if maybe they've got something new I know I could still design one last mailer to counter it if I needed to, but by and large, at this point, I'm just talking about it's time to vote for joy. So let's get out there and vote for joy. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that, let's talk about canvassing. I have some data that I pulled yesterday for you. In the LD, this election cycle, just this year, we have canvassed 3,201 people 2,426 doors. That means we've actually went to doors and talked to people. We have lit dropped 10,445 people, 7,753 doors. So a total this year in LD12 only, we have canvassed or talked to or lit dropped 13,348 people with 9,636 doors. We have been to 9,636 doors in LD12 with a person on the ground. You should be really, really proud of yourself. We have a contact rate of 24%. That is amazing. So 24% of the time, somebody is going to answer that door and we are going to have a meaningful conversation with someone. That is excellent. So on that, the next slide, and again, this is on your agendas. We have canvases. We are going to be getting out there Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m., 12 p.m. 2 canvas launches, 2 days. On the last 4 days, that's the Saturday, November 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. All 4 days, we will be doing it twice each day, 9 a.m. and noon. We are going to get out the vote this year. It is extremely important. And while I leave those canvas dates, while you all check your calendars to see which day you're going to help us with, I wanted to tell you that I did go online before the meeting, and in Arizona, 21,000 people have already voted. That's really good. Now, let me give you the breakdown. And this is just all of Arizona. And I got this off of Uplift, which is a strategy company here in Arizona. 21,000 votes have been cast. Or early ballots, yeah, or in person, early voting, any. Of the 21,000, 5,500 of them are Democrats. 10,000 are the GOPs. 4,600 are registered other. Okay, I know. I said, wow, we got some work to do. The GOP is out there outvoting us? No way. However, in LD12, let's give you something good. They have counted 354 votes, people voting. 188 of them are Democrats. Yep. 95 are registered other and 71 Republicans. So we're doing pretty good. Okay. Now, we know a lot of people have not quite gotten their ballots yet, and that number is going to change. We will post this information into Slack. We'll try to get it out to as much as possible. We send out an email every Friday to give you updates on what's going on in the district, because there is so much happening and it's so quick. So, yes. Yes. So the people on Zoom, just so that they know, there's a lot of people that haven't gotten their Zoom or their ballots. They just need to go online to make sure. I think with Monday being a holiday and it's just a little bit behind. So I would say within the next couple of days, give it a chance. They are very, very overwhelmed. So, and then go to beballotready.vote. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The other thing in the room was if you didn't get your ballot by Friday, you should probably go online and request another one. Okay. All right. Our first guest speaker for the night is Tempe City Councilwoman Jennifer Adams. Right here, the people on Zoom can see you.
Okay, excellent. All right. Hey, this is weird. Okay, 'cause I can see me too. Anyway, I'm Jennifer Adams. I'm on Tempe City Council. I've served now for 6.5 years. I love it. It's really fun. How many people have already voted in here? Okay. So I'm going to talk very briefly about the propositions because we want yeses on all 3 of them. I know Janet Hamlin back there, hi Janet, is working on the campaign. So thank you for doing that. And it's great to see you guys tonight and have an opportunity to visit with you a little bit. My wife Cindy and I have lived in South Tempe for a long, long time. And our legislative district is really a special place. So I love LD12. So thanks for welcoming me tonight. So tonight I just want to talk about a couple things that are near and dear to my heart. One, we'll start with the money. For those of you who live in Tempe, you'll find 3 bond questions on your ballot. And question 1 will help us enhance community safety and by repairing and maintaining our roads. Additionally, the bond allocates funds for constructing 2 new fire stations and a new police station in North Tempe. That will really help us with our response times. And question 2 will allow us to maintain and enhance our more than 50 city parks. That's, I think, a record. We have a park for every mile. And question 3 builds on Tempe's progress by providing accessible and affordable housing, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. We need to have more affordable housing, and all of our council members are working on it together, and we're making progress. We have the developers give us money for when they build things, and that's going into a fund that we'll be building affordable housing with. So it's really creative. That was Corey Woods' brainstorm. So he's a great guy. And then also, when I was working for the city, I worked for the city for 36 years. I'm getting old, but it's one thing that I watched happen is we lost our park rangers in 2008 during budget cuts, and it really hurt us because we didn't have the safety in our parks that we needed. So we brought the program back. I spearheaded that actually, and brought it back, and we have them going again. They've been going for like a year, and they're doing great. And it's really improved our safety in the parks. So that's something that's going on. And then we're going to have the real-time operations center that opened actually this summer. And so when there's like, say, a bad guy, Mesa has it, and they drive by through Tempe, we'll be able to have cameras on them so we can keep catching them. So it's really a big state, really a progress for our safety in the community. We also had a bad drag racing problem. Who's heard the drag racing? Yeah. So it was bad, and our Tempe forces got together with other sources in the community, and we had the Stop Drag Racing program, and we caught a lot of people, over 50 people for drag racing. One that didn't make it, he was going 173 miles an hour, and he crashed. So it was a really big problem. It's super dangerous for everybody that's on the road. So I'm really glad that's going well, and yeah. And let's see, finally, one thing, who goes to Tempe Town Lake? Yeah, okay, so we were having like problems. People were crashing into each other because there wasn't any striping. So I'm always about safety. And so we put striping down the middle so people know where to go and they're not running into each other. So that was, I don't know. It's amazing how little things really make a big difference because people were getting hurt. There's a lot of elderly that live down there and they were getting hurt. So I'm really happy about that result. But if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me, or I'll stick around back there for a while. And thank you for your attention tonight.
Hey, Janet, don't forget to tell them about the Tempe Envision Center.
I'm sorry?
The Tempe Envision Center.
Oh, the Envision Center.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
just
for
opened.
sure. Yeah, we have an Envision Center now in Tempe that just opened. What was that, like 3 weeks ago, Nikki? Yeah, and that's actually how I got invited tonight. So thank you, Nikki. So an Envision Center, it has all kinds of opportunities. First of all, it's a place to cool off. And then they have different learning programs. It's on Apache and Smith, I think, right around in that area. But it's really cool. So if you can check it out, the Envision Center, you can learn in there. They're gonna have all kinds of classes. It's free. So come in and everyone's welcome. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just gonna rattle off a bunch of numbers tonight. Here's another slide that I wanted to give you guys an update on. The LD12 voter guide. We mailed the LD12 voter guide, this mailer that you see on the right-hand side. We did a bulk mailer and we sent it out to 30,323 households. Then we also did Young Democrats. We hit every young Democrat in RLD at 15,656 mailboxes, 19,000 voters. Then we did a regular neighbor to neighbor letter, and we did 10,576 households, 14,000 voters. So in this LD, we mailed a total of 56,555 households, and we reached 72,250 voters with our voter guide. All right. So I did a little research. The LD has a total of 138,711 voters. And so we hit 74% of the households and hitting 51.1% of the voters here in the LD. We skipped Republicans. They were mailed to independents. They were mailed to some Republicans because they probably live with an independent or a Democrat. So the bulk mailer just went to the household. But we focused on all of those key voters, making sure we get people out to vote. So between our canvases and our mailers, we have almost hit every single house in LD12. Again, amazing.
That's me.
Jeff, you have your own microphone. Forgot about that. This is
We're
nice.
fancy now.
Oh,
Um,
we're fancy.
Really quick before I go to the next slide, I wanted to point out that for the letters that we did for the Young Democrats specifically, we partnered with the Maricopa County Young Democrats to work on messaging that was specific to young Dems. And the letter came from the Maricopa County Young Democrats. We partnered with Melissa Westbrook and the rest of the MCYD board at the time to craft that letter so that it was different than the one that went out to the rest of the community. So just thank you, Melissa, for helping us accomplish that. And speaking of voter guides, two amazing volunteers, Jerry Robin and Craig Velasco, if you're here, please stand or wave. They created the az.demvoterguide.org website, which now has every LD's voter guide with the exception of 3. Update. As of 2 days ago, all 30 LDs have a voter guide on the website. This was a labor of love and something that they took on because they saw the need throughout the state where others weren't doing this. So they said, we're going to do it. And they managed to put this together in a very short time, reached out to all of the LDs to make sure we had accurate information, pointed out any errors they might have had on their website, by the way. And here we are. So share this information with friends and family that you have outside of LD12 that might not have had such a broad outreach with their voter guides. You can share this on social media. You can share it by text. You can share it however. So thank you, Jerry and Craig. Get your Bada Bing raffle tickets.
Just wanted to say, for those of you who have expressed confusion, when we first announced this 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was azdemvoterguide.org, azdemvoterguide.org. But for various complicated but very clever reasons, it is now az.demvoterguide.org. The old address still works fine. It redirects to the new one, but it is, so either one works, but az.demvoterguide.org will take you to the picture that was there a minute ago. And there are literally, there's actually more than 30 links on there because some districts have 2 different counties in the same district. It's really confusing. Trust me, you don't ever want to do this. It's very complicated. Anyway, go to it, check it out. We'd love to get more hits. We're getting about 400 hits a day so far, visitors, but we'd like to get more because obviously we need thousands of people to see the voter guide. So please tell your friends. Thank you.
Woohoo! One other thing I wanted to point out also on that website, there's links for descriptions and conversation about the various propositions. So, you know, if anybody's texting you, why are you voting this for that proposition or that for that proposition? You can send them the wording from Civic Engagement Beyond Voting or some other LD's website that breaks it down. So it's been really, really helpful, especially for us because our voter guides have an email address on it that people can ask questions. And we've been getting a ton of emails asking questions about various propositions, asking about judges, asking about this and that. And so I can quickly go refer to one place, copy paste, and respond to people very quickly. So it's been extremely helpful for us too. Next up, our guest speaker is Mark Robert Gordon, who we're trying to get on Zoom. So bear with us. We're going to test this bad boy out. Maybe. He is our Democratic National Committee member, and he's going to give us a quick update if we can get him on Zoom, so bear with us. Meanwhile, we have merch over here. We have our Bada Bing raffles. We have Vote Your Democratic Values t-shirts. We have our vote with some of the hot topic items for Democrats right now. We have the Harris Walls yard signs. Nicole's going to model the yard sign for us. Okay, Mark isn't online yet. We had these yard signs made that say LD12 endorse Harris Walls with our QR code to the voter guide because the Harris Walls campaign ran out and there was such a demand that we said, hey, want one, buy one, here you go. So Mark isn't online just yet, so we'll move forward to upcoming events, and as soon as he hops on, we'll go to him, and I'm gonna give it back to Melissa to talk about some upcoming events.
When he gets online. Okay. Upcoming events. Tomorrow, we have Dems and Donuts. You can hear about Heather Macri, so thank you, Julia, for putting that together every single month. We totally appreciate all of these. You don't have to worry about reading it because guess what? It's on your agenda. It's one that I made it just for you to take home. Please take it home. We went through a lot of trouble to print those. So we have a lot of events, of course, all of our canvases. We have some special events we're going to talk about. We also have the Pride. There's a Phoenix Pride Parade. There's going to be a trunk or treat at Brick Road. We're going to discuss a little bit on the next slide. Then we also are going to be discussing of your upcoming is our reorganizational meeting. So anyways, so take a look at all of our events. We are staying extremely busy, so please, there's always something for you to do. And it's great because you get to hang out with people that share the same values as you do. And we have such a great time at all of our events. Okay? So my first featured event is going to be the Phoenix Pride Festival and Parade. The LGBTQ plus community for Maricopa County, Lisa Malakowski can't be here tonight, but I told her I would talk to you guys about it. There's two different ways to get involved for this event. One, you can walk in the parade, and two, they can use people to help at their booth at the festival itself, talking to voters. It is so much fun. We went there last year, collected signatures, and it was just great. Now, when you're collecting signatures, you always have to tell people, can I hold your beer for you while you sign? Because it did not go 2 and 2. It didn't go well. But we aren't collecting signatures. We're just going to be out there talking to voters, making sure that they get out and vote early. We really need people to turn in their ballots and fill them out. Next slide. Oh. I don't know where the other one went. I have this.
This year, we are also participating in Brick Road Coffee's Trunk or Treat, which is on Saturday, October 26th. So LD12 will have a trunk decorated for the kiddos. This event, they have vendors selling different items, live music, story time, and of course, trunk or treating. There's going to be over 20 vehicles there. And it is free, it is fun, and it is inclusive. So please bring the kids, the family, friends out to see us at the trunk or treat at Brick Road Coffee. Do you want me to talk about reorg?
Find out if Mark's online. Okay. The reorganizational meeting has been set. We are going to be meeting as a hybrid, so it's going to be just like this. You can do it on Zoom or here in person. It is going to be Saturday, November 16th. This reorg meeting is to be electing the chair, the first vice chair, your second chair, a secretary, a treasurer, and then 3 at-large board members. We will also be electing our state committee members. I just want to remind you, you have to be a PC, a newly elected PC, as of October 1st in order to vote in the reorg meeting, okay? The other thing is you have to have a valid email address on file with the LD in order to vote in the reorg meeting, okay? So the reorg meeting will be hybrid, but if you come in person, we're gonna have pizza and we're gonna have dessert. Colleen is making her famous popcorn for me. I'm so excited. But there are no proxies allowed because we do all of our voting electronically and we do have the hybrid option. So keep that in mind. This beautiful postcard will be mailed out to all PCs and we will also be sending out emails. Currently, we have 8 PCs that don't have email addresses on file. We are still trying to contact them to get a current email address. So I just want to make it clear that it's only for PCs that were newly elected as of October 1st. Okay? And so this is your chance. If you're interested in being on the board, please let me know. If there's something that you're interested in doing in the LD, we are open. Right now, I would really like to see representation from our entire district. Currently, we only represent Ahwatukee and Tempe and board members. And while we do a lot of things in Chandler, I would really like to see somebody from the city of Chandler, to be on the board so that we have representation for each of our cities in LD12. What'd you say, Paul? What are you whispering over there? I heard you whispering. Oh, okay. So again, if you're interested in running to be a board member, please let me know so we can get you involved. We are a great group. We meet on a regular basis. During the election, we are meeting every week. We talk every day. So we're very active. The next slide. Oh, guess what? Did you guys know we have LD12 Harris Waltz yard signs? They're right over there. They are $12 for LD12. They have the QR code on them, as she said, for the voter guides. We're going to be putting these up at the vote centers. So if you want them, and did you give your little example? For every Trump sign that goes up, a Harris sign gets his wings, because 2 Harris signs gets its wings, because I'm telling you, every time somebody comes up, my neighbor put up a Trump sign, so me and my neighbor are going to put up some Harris signs. That's what we need. More and more people are putting up yard signs this year than I've ever seen in the past. We are low on stock on every yard sign. People are coming by every day picking up yard signs. So please, if there's a yard sign you want, please let me know. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Is Mark Robert Gordon on? He's not on. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. So we have these wonderful Bada Bing raffle baskets. QR codes are on your agendas. They're over there. This is how we raise money every month. We do raffle baskets to raise money to be able to send out voter guides, the bulk mailer, the neighbor to neighbors. We spend a lot of money in stamps. You know, we're doing text messaging. We have so many things that we've been doing. And of course, our TV efforts are going to have some cost to it. We provide water and snacks, lunch for our canvassers, especially on that very last weekend. So please, if you would like to support our efforts, consider buying some raffle basket tickets. If you want to see Angela, she can help you get your tickets. And Joe, our treasurer, is online, and he'll be coming on later at the end of the evening to do that raffle. Is our other guest speaker here? No. On our way. Hey, we're just going to keep going. Okay. Let's just keep going. Mark Robert Gordon's not on yet. Okay, I can only stall for so long. All right. We're coming to the end of what? No, no, you can't. Let's get through all of our slides. Let me we'll do the treasurer report and then we'll go and see where our speakers are. Our treasurer reports. Okay, so the treasurer still looks great. In the month of September, we had a beginning cash balance of $39,039. We had contributions of $11,747. We paid out $15,225 with an ending cash of $35,561. The cash on hand as of yesterday was $19,756. But we still have a lot of bills that we haven't paid yet. So I made a list of them over here to the right. We still have text messaging that we're going to spend about $5,000 on. We have $1,500 for GOTV. We have our holiday party that's coming up because remember, we don't meet in the month of December. We do a holiday party, which is really nice after the election. We have our reorg meeting that's going to cost us some money. We have Harris Waltz yard signs. We had to order another batch because we ran out, so we still have to pay that bill. We have more voter guides that were needed because we're hitting a lot of houses between us and the coordinated campaign. Then we have Election Runner, which is the program that we use to do all of our voting. That's why we have that. You have to have your email on file so you can vote in every election because I'm going to be talking about one. We're saving $3,000 for next year. That will pay for our storage unit, our Slack, our Google Suite, our website, all these Zoom meeting spaces, things like that. So we'll have to do some more fundraising for next year, but this will get us through to January. Okay, so we still have about $14,718, assuming we did not forget anything. That's about what we have left to pay. So it means that we still have $5,038 that's not allocated for anything. What I mean that's not allocated to spend it on yard signs, voter guides, text messaging, whatever else we have to do for this year. And so on our next slide, to all of our current PCs, we're going to be sending out an October vote. We would like you guys to weigh in on a couple of different things. The first one would be LD2, which is up in Deer Valley. They need some financial help. They are not able to print all of their voter guides that they need for Election Day, so they are requesting some additional funds. So they are a flippable district. They are a purple district, and they are so close. And they are Judy Schwiebert. Is that how you say her? Schwiebert. It's her district. And I can't remember who's running for that. Thank you. Stephanie is running. Okay. So anyways, I talked to Meg, the chair. She could really use some financial help to get her through. They are down to just a couple $100. So the second question is Keep Arizona Blue Student Coalition. They were generous enough to help out our school board candidates. We as an LD cannot donate directly to nonpartisan candidates, but Keep Arizona Blue Student Coalition was generous enough to help our Kyrene, our Chandler school district candidates to get them through to be able to order more lit, to order signs and things like that. These two, Chandler and Kyrene, are key to keeping our district and our school board candidates. The other school board candidates were helped out by Save Our Schools and Arizona List. So we are asking with some of our reserve money to help LD2 and to help the Arizona Blue Student Coalition. The third question, sorry, will you be running as a state committee member? On that vote, when you click on the vote, it will tell you what a state committee member is. You have to be a PC in order to be a state committee member, okay? we are going to be electing 86 state committee members, which, yes, congratulations. We did a lot of recruiting to get people to become PC so we can get that voice at the state party. What we want to know is who's interested in becoming a state committee member, because we want to know, do we have enough people running? Do we have too many people? So we're going to be electing those state committee members at our reorg meeting in November. And then the last question, there's two parts to the last questions. It is, do you like the Pecos Community Center? We meet here every month. Do you like this location? The second part to it is, if you don't like this location, are you willing to find us a new location? See how that works? In that vote, it's going to tell you everything that we need to find a location. Has to accommodate 100 people, has to have Wi-Fi. It has to have things like accessible parking. They have to be able to, they have to allow a political party organization to rent the space. You won't believe how many places said, ooh, we don't rent to political parties. So it was like, okay. And they don't require us to have certificates of insurance, which is a lot of money that the LD doesn't really, we don't have it. So City of Phoenix has been generous to us in allowing us to rent this facility. And to be honest, we pay, I think, $125 for every meeting space. It can't get any cheaper than that. Like we have found ways to save money in this district, and it's paid off. So thank you very much. So of course, this email will go out to every new PC that was elected on October 1st. And if you have any questions, you can either reach out to any board member or actually Jeff Tucker. We should put his phone number up there for you all. In case anybody doesn't get the vote and they have questions. Okay. So Sherry's gonna do that part.
Okay, our next guest for tonight is the mayor of the city of Phoenix and candidate for re-election, Kate Gallego.
Three weeks to go. Well, thank you so much for having me back. It is a pleasure to be with all of you and to celebrate the great momentum we have. It's also exciting week for us at the City of Phoenix and Ahwatukee. This Friday morning, we will break ground on our 4th fire station for Ahwatukee. And you're certainly welcome to join us at 19th and Chandler right on the park at 8:30 in the morning for the new station. We are very excited to bring that and improved response times. We actually had the community meeting for the fire station in this room, and a grand total of 1 person attended. But we in local government are like, if no one's unhappy, well, we're good. And we're just really excited to bring that and improve response times. So thanks to folks who advocated for it and partnered with us. It's an exciting time for us in the city of Phoenix. Thanks to all of you. We passed a bond election and so are able to invest in new libraries, new fire stations, and a new medical school, which we'll also be getting to announce very shortly the location. Arizona State University is going to have a medical school in downtown Phoenix. So a good month for healthcare in Phoenix. I know we're many universities here, so we will break ground in downtown Phoenix on an immunology center, advanced medicine with the University of Arizona. So we got our Wildcats and our Sun Devils, yes. So we are very balanced, but a ASU Health, which is nursing and doctors, and then advanced immunology, which will help us fight tough problems such as cancer in downtown Phoenix. So just some good news coming up, which I feel like we all need some good news. You would think I might be wearing red because of the fire station, but I'm having a sense of humor today. If you read the newspaper, I started on a weird moment. Yes, the front page of the paper this morning was a story, I got a nutty opponent. And he said that I'm the devil. I'm not wearing Prada. So for those watching on Zoom, someone just asked me if I wear Prada. I'm wearing natural shoes. They're very comfortable, but they're definitely not Prada. For those of you who are not following my race, my opponent among his most admired elected officials is Matt Gaetz. Yes. And so he put up this website where it talks all about the difference between him and me. And so he talks about that I'm Jewish and that he is Christian. And on Yom Kippur, he put out a video with me with devil horns and red eyes. Yes. So that is the front page story in the Arizona Republic this morning. I got up, looked at the newspaper, and then crawled in bed with my 7-year-old. I was like, Mom needs a hug this morning. So it's just good to finish the day with friends because it's the nutty season in the election. But we are out at the city trying to campaign, increase the voter turnout in the city of Phoenix, and then wanted to thank you so much for including our city ballot propositions in the LD voter guide. The most important one is probably Prop 487, which is our city budget authority. This has been on the budget every 4 years for decades, and it has always passed, but we're a little bit more worried because it's such a long ballot, and we're concerned with some of the organizations that are saying just vote no on everything except abortion rights, because there really are some very important funding items, particularly for local government and for our school districts. So thank you for putting the city propositions. Our funding authority is something the legislature makes us go every 4 years to get local budget control, not the Democrats in the legislature. And it is based on a decades-old funding formula that didn't anticipate how quickly we would grow or the fact that the city provides regional services such as Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, which grew very quickly. And it doesn't just serve the city of Phoenix, it serves all of the surrounding communities. So because we are such a large city, we'd have to cut $2 billion if the budget authority didn't pass, which would be pretty devastating. So, and again, it has been very successful every 4 years, but we're hopeful that people will get to the bottom of the ballot and still be participating. We also have our general plan, which is our 10-year land use plan, and this year's is particularly focused on linking water and land use, as well as celebrating our unique neighborhoods. So great, thank you again for putting that on your ballot guide and helping us with that turnout. We're excited at the city of Phoenix to continue to move forward in that areas and hoping to have a very big year ahead with some new investments. The bond that we passed with very good support from this LD will also include a new Latino cultural center. So long overdue. We're hoping to have world-class architecture. The program included new funding for riverfront redevelopment, and we got a fabulous grant from the Biden administration as well. So we're hoping to reinvigorate the riverfront. And then we're going to be doing a big push over the next couple weeks with some of the great Biden environmental programs to help people lower their energy bill. So really talking about how you can get an energy audit and help, whether it's solar or more efficient cooling and upgrades in those areas. So those are some of the great partnerships that are coming. We also think we are quite close to getting a funding announcement for TSMC in Phoenix. Those are the folks who make the chips for Apple devices, and we'll be doing it in North Phoenix, which is exciting for us. And then Intel is also quite close, I think, to final announcements in those areas. Thousands of construction jobs. When Vice President Harris was here in March, my favorite part of that visit was she met with Navajo women who are iron workers and working on semiconductors. in their first year as union eye workers making $95,000. Isn't that cool? Many are second or third generation families where their parents, usually one parent, worked in coal. And so now they're working in advanced manufacturing thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. So really cool to see that coming. And I think that probably shortly after the election, we might have some exciting news in that area. So we're hoping to finish with a lot of good news. I am also, I'd say, cautiously optimistic for the legislative session. Yeah, I just met earlier this week with Representative Travers about trying to do a bill around student safety, which is something very much on both of our minds. And we're so excited to work with Representative Contreras and Representative Epstein to really get things done, hopefully proactively. My very first job out of college, I was the deputy director of the Legislative Caucus in 2004, which at this point, every seat in this area was Republican. Although thanks to folks who've been working for quite a while, we have had some great changes, and it's just really exciting to see the progress we have made in that area. My year working at the Legislative Caucus, we picked up one seat, which was Ann Kirkpatrick in the State House. And so it's been lots of building since then, but I'm really excited for all the work that you have done and what might happen, and we can really get some proactive things done. As a mom of a 7-year-old, funding our schools, I think, is highest on my list, but lots of great things to be done in that area. So thank you for all the work you have been doing to turn Arizona blue and to get out the vote. And thanks for having me back.
I don't know where we're at. Oh. Okay, so we are going to what?
If you have any questions for the mayor, happy to take some or hang around for a little bit.
Oh, way in the back. Okay, it's over there. Where's my mic?
Pursuant to 487, what would be an alternate funding source to the sales tax system?
So 487, the question was about 487, which is our city budget authority, but it was 479, the transportation campaign. Yeah, I'm sorry. The 400s are the good news, I think. But the 479 is our regional transportation plan. So that is a continuation of existing funding, which helps. It goes to 3 main areas: our public transit system, our freeways, and then major intercity road projects. And it's a continuation of a sales tax, very important for our future communities. Several cities would completely lose bus service, overwhelmingly dial-a-ride, which helps older adults age in place and have people who have mobility challenges get around. That is funded with regional sales tax, so really important. It also will help us fix up aging freeways. We have a lot of freeways in Phoenix where they were engineered with standards we would no longer use, really short on and off ramps, which tend to force you to merge quickly and can have higher accidents and more slowing. There's a significant hundreds of millions to help us do more safety. Unfortunately, we have a real challenge with traffic fatalities in this community, and then just more modern technology. So for example, right now, the state controls the traffic signals right on the freeways, and then the city in the city, and they can't talk to each other very well. So just being able to modernize it. If you've noticed that the traffic does not flow very well near freeways, that is a fixable problem. So it's a important ballot initiative that is the 2 county ones. It's the regional transportation and the community college. And the community college also helps them get their local funding authority. Neither are a tax increase, so we're hopeful if people make it that far on the ballot that they'll want to continue to support it. But again, we're all very nervous given the length of the ballot that people won't make it. There's more 100,000 people who didn't vote in the Phoenix mayor's race last time. So there are folks who just maybe vote right at the top and don't finish their ballot. And so many of the things at the end are really key to us as a community. So grateful that the LD included them on the ballot guide, because there is some good news on the ballot initiatives. There's also some tough ones that the legislature referred to get because Katie Hobbs wouldn't sign them. One that I think hasn't gotten I think most folks are familiar, there's a bad news immigration item. One that hasn't gotten a lot of attention is the legislature would have to vote on every rule. And so if we're doing water quality or some really technical rules today, the Hobbs administration can do them on their own, but they would have to go through the legislature. I think, half the year the legislature is not in session, so we couldn't move forward on some important water quality and other initiatives. We have a lot of work to do in water quality at the city of Phoenix. We want to do water recycling, but that requires us to work and have environmental regulations. And we're just sort of nervous that Prop 315 will have a lot of unintended consequences, and that one hasn't, I think, rightfully that there are bigger ones on the ballot, but it's just one that could have a lot of challenges around air quality and water that I don't think we've talked about.
Hi, what's going on with the Latino Cultural Center and what's the timeline on that? And did they settle on a location?
So a question about the Latino Cultural Center. And for those of you who aren't as familiar in Phoenix, we have a beautiful Irish Cultural Center, a Japanese Friendship Garden, but our largest group is our Latino community, and we do not yet have an appropriate cultural institution. So a long time coming, and one that I really hope can be a beautiful, iconic building. So question was timeline and whether we have settled on a location. What we decided with the arts and culture money in the bond was to first start with some of the build out of existing buildings. So for example, there was funding to finish the Children's Museum. So that's one of the things we'll do first. A previous bond helped us buy the beautiful former Monroe School, protect a historic building, and then build a Children's Museum, but it's not yet complete. So we're going to start with some of those. We have our great Phoenix Theater is not ADA accessible, and that was another program that we're going to do first. And then the new buildings will take a little bit more time with. So the question was, do we have a final location? We had a committee that met several years ago and recommended that it be on Hance Park, but I think that there's some interest in looking at some additional locations, and one option we're considering is there's also money in the bond to buy land along the riverfront. Many cities have fabulous arts and culture institutions along their riverfronts, and experts in city planning say that a catalytic project can be really helpful if you're trying to reinvigorate an area. I think Tempe would say it was a great decision to put their beautiful center along Tempe Town Lake and helped attract new high quality investment. So that is something that we are considering. And so I think you can still weigh in where the Latino Arts and Culture Center should be. Almost every part of the city has a suggestion of one close to them, which is kind of fun when it's a desired asset. Awesome. I'll be around. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. And now I'm going to introduce our next guest. This is fingers crossed, everyone. This is the first time we've ever going to do this. We're going to put somebody who is on Zoom. So we're going to spotlight them up here. And we should be able to hear them through our speakers. Let's see if it works. Do you need me to help you? Yeah.
There we are. Can everyone hear me? Well, on Zoom, I'm not seeing the room. Can somebody from the room let me know if you can hear me? Melissa? Yes, I see a thumbs up. Hello, LD12. I regret that I wasn't able to get there in person. I was doing everything I could to be with you today. I didn't hear in the mayor's proposal about with the proposition money, if there's going to be a tramway that goes over South Mountain from where I was downtown to get me to Ahwatukee in a hurry to get back and forth. It just didn't work out tonight. I was doing everything to get there. I'm so sorry. But it's good to see this district again. I know I've made a few visits over the last year. I will be back in person after this election, but I did want to talk about this election. I do want to comment on something that the mayor brought up, which is really indicative of the ugliness that we're facing right now, with really something that was nothing other than an anti-Semitic attack by what she just described on her. It is particularly disgusting that the level of discourse has gotten down here, and it's gotten permission from this underbelly in our society, has gotten permission from the very top and the former president. And it just needs to stop. It just reinforces that we need to stay the course we're on right now, with Democrats winning the presidency, having decency in the White House, because it filters down throughout society and into our local races. So I'm so sorry that she went through that, and we're especially at a time of heightened anti-Semitism that's out there. So little commentary. Listen, we're all following the news intently. We're all watching TV intently, seeing and hearing about polls tightening, about races, about the Electoral College. Look, we can't do anything about the Electoral College. It's not going to change before this election, and the reality is it's not going to change for a long time. What we can do is get our message out, and we do have a winning message. LD12, former version of most of your district, LD18, learned to flip a district that was an all-Republican district by messaging that really spoke to people, not just in our base, which is very important that we get out everybody in our base, but talks to other people that were on the fence about voting for our candidates. And it helps in districts like these swing districts, District 18, District 9, District 4, District 2. And that's a business message. Along with everything else, we have one of the best economies that we have had, and we have an economic message to sell right now. And Democrats did a lot of the good that's happened for our country on the economy without a single Republican vote. Remember, we had the lowest unemployment rate in nearly 50 years because Democrats passed the Inflation Reduction Act without a single Republican vote. Democrats have created an environment that has led to the highest number of small business applications in over 30 years without a single Republican vote. Democrats did this. Democrats are who delivered not only small businesses writ large, but I'm sorry, I said 30 years, in 50 years for a small business creation, but in 30 years, the greatest number of African-American owned small business applications. Democrats did that. Democrats led to the greatest number of small business applications by Latino owned small businesses. Democrats did that. We have the highest number of manufacturing jobs. People usually think that this matters in elections. We're busy going after the catnip of Trump. And that's very important talking about democracy. I'm a civil rights and voting rights attorney. I run Voting Rights Fund PAC nationally. That's important. But it's also important to talk about these issues of job creation, because that's how, when these elections are at the margins in districts like yours and these other swing legislative districts in this state and the swing congressional districts in this state and around the country, we have an actual winning message right now. And we cannot let the Republicans own that narrative. We need to disrupt that narrative because it's been false for decades, and we have the economy here under Biden to prove it. I understand inflation is where it is, but it's being tempered. It's being tempered not with Republicans coming up with a plan. It's because the Democrats had a plan that not only dealt with inflation right now, and has brought it down steadily, the inflation rate, but has also created new jobs for a new economy so that we can keep an economy of growth going after this current period. That's the CHIPS Act. That's investing in a new and green technology future. And that is Democrats doing this. So I think we need to be proud right now of our party, what we have delivered in terms of the economy, and not be afraid to trumpet it, not trumpet, but trumpet it, because it is a winning message at the margins. Look, I really do not believe that the vast number of people who voted for Trump, the underbelly was a lot bigger than we thought it was in this country, and this spewful hate, this hate that's being spewed that I was talking about, that came even into our mayoral race. And it's coming across the board. The underbelly in this country was a lot larger than we suspected it was. But I cannot believe that that the vast majority of Republicans and independents have not come over to our side because of that. It's because there is still a decades and generations old mantra. They're even going back to calling Kamala Harris a communist and socialist because of policies that they are benefiting from. That's the mantra and that's the old playbook. But in the meantime, we have an economic message that can win a lot of these people over because they're not with them on social policies. And we win with those social policies. It's unfortunately not enough right now to get past it. So as you're knocking, and we're seeing that at the numbers at the DNC that we're looking at, it is particularly in swing states. As you're knocking on doors, as you're making the calls, do not hesitate to be talking about the good things, the job creation that's happened, because that's a message that actually speaks to that group that can side with us and wants permission to side with us. They're just hearing a whole bunch of garbage and noise if they can listen past Trump dancing to YMCA throughout his speech, if you watch that. They are going back to old playbooks, and it's not going to work if we remind people of what we have accomplished and how much further we can grow. It's no mistake that Kamala Harris made that major speech 2 weeks ago on small business development. It's no secret why she is talking about an economic message. Our responsibility in the trenches here is to get that message out. And so I'm asking you to make that part of what you do. I'm passing along the message from the DNC, from our internal polling, from what we are getting from the national picture. In terms of polls, look, we knew it was going to be a close election. It was a close election when Biden was the head of the ticket. It's a close election now. It's where it was going to be. We're not dealing with the same facts that are being debated right now. People are going to their own news sources. We know this, to get their own information. And it's not a consistent information to make this a United States of America, to make this a united set of facts that we can have disputes on philosophy. We're not there right now. So because of that, people are getting their information from different sources, and they are doubling and tripling down on it so that it brings the polling tighter. And polling has been all over the place for the last several cycles. We will see. What we can do is work as hard as we're going to work and win. And we win by getting our message, our successes out. It's how you flipped the former LD18, the former LD28, and that's why District 12 has remained, LD12 has remained with Democrats winning all three in the redistricting, and it's why we are going to win in LD28 this time. And LD9 flipped last time. That's how we do it. And we can talk about every other policy we believe in. Don't be shy. The social issues are on our side. The public is on our side. So with that, again, I apologize for not being there in person. I'm just going to add I've been charged by both the Harris campaign and the DNC to bring in more resources in Arizona. I know we've loved all these politicians dropping out of the sky, and it's not stopping yet. It's continuing. President Obama is going to be in Tucson on Friday. We're going to have other high-level visits. I've been charged to use my entertainment background and legal background to bring in some other folks. So I can tell you the final week in October, there's going to be several exciting fundraising events here. We have Paula Poundstone and a few other national comedians coming in on Monday, October 28th for a lower dollar type of fundraiser. Hope you'll consider coming. If you want information, please email me, mrg@markrobertgordon.com. It goes to the entire Victory Fund, which means part of the money comes back to all of the states around the country, including Arizona, which obviously has gotten its lion's share with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania of resources around the country from the DNC. So that will be the first. There are some other exciting ones coming up. I hope you'll stay with us and keep fighting, keep doing everything you're doing. Every vote matters. Thank you for having me. I'm glad you didn't see the whole me. I had a few surgeries over the past few weeks. So apparently it started showing itself, and I'm glad it's not right now. So thank you. I will see you in person soon after the election when we celebrate our victories. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, really quick, one last call to action to piggyback on what Mark was talking about. Our election day voting center ambassadors. We are setting up at every single voting center in LD12 on election day to be there as a resource to hand out our voter guides, both paper copies or digitally. And we changed our method this year. Instead of going to the busiest voting centers for a longer period of time, we found that most of the people that were voting early were just dropping off a ballot that was already completed. So we decided to refocus and hit every voting center on election day for the people that are going to be voting in person. So we need a lot of volunteers. We will have shifts starting at 6 a.m. all the way until 8 p.m. We're doing them in 2-hour shifts. There's a QR code on your agenda to sign up for those. All of the locations are listed there with their addresses and the different times that we need people, and we will be in all of the cities in LD12. So please think about helping us out on election day as an election day ambassador. And again, we have a good message to share with people. We want to spread joy when we're out there. We have a great time on election day, to be quite honest with you. It's a blast. And then we're going to do our Bada Bing raffle. But while we're doing that, I'm going to have any candidates or new business that want to speak for 1 minute. Please start lining up over here so that you're ready to go. Is Joe able to get on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here,
Bada Bing
Sherry. Can
raffle
you hear
time,
me?
folks.
Can y'all hear me? I can't hear you guys very well.
Yes. Can you hear us, Joe?
Okay, yep, sounds good. Hang on just a second. I gotta figure out what my system wants. Anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome. And thank you so much for your generous donations. I'm going to make this quick, respect everyone's time. I know we're getting to the end of the road here. So let's open up the Bada Bing and see who won today's fantastic prizes. We'll do the Crazy Cat Lady Cosmos first. We sold 492 tickets to the Crazy Cat Lady. So let's see who won. And by the way, this new audio system is fantastic. Ticket number.
Okay, great, Treasure, because I would like to get some other stuff too.
Exactly. Ticket number 83 on the Crazy Cosmo Cat Lady, whatever. That was Sharon Crook. Congratulations, Sharon.
Who? Say the name again.
Sharon Crook, Crook. She was donated on Blue, at Blue. I almost said Blue Apron. Act Blue. All righty, so we sold 306 tickets for the orange not going back basket. So let's see who won that one. 306, drum roll please. Ticket number 232. And 232 is right there. And that is Linda Cortium. Congratulations,
Linda Cordum.
everybody. Linda Cordum. Congratulations, everybody. And I am going to go back on mute.
Oh, I want to say thank you, Angela, for helping us sell our Bada Bing raffle tickets tonight. And don't forget to pick up your yard signs and t-shirts and all kinds of good stuff. So we've come to our other business. So come on up. 1 minute.
Awesome.
Pictures so they can see you.
Hello. Again, my name is Shauna. I am with Yes on 139. Happy to be here at District 12. I got my voter's guide and it was beautiful. So thank you so much for sending that out. I just wanted to talk about some upcoming events that we have. Tomorrow, there is going to be a postcard party at the Churchill downtown Phoenix. That is a wonderful outdoor space. There's going to be some appetizers and some drinks for sale. Come write some postcards for 139. The next event that we have this week is called Take Pride in Your Healthcare. And that is with the Human Rights Campaign, and that will be on Thursday, October 17th. For more locations and details, for some canvases, phone banks, go to mobilize.us/Arizona for abortion access, and you can find out all of our phone banks and canvases there. Before I go, the t-shirts and yard signs are free. So please come and grab them and vote yes on Prop 139 if you haven't voted yet. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Zaina Pruzhanovsky, and I'm a candidate for the Chandler Unified School District Governing Board, along with my other candidate mates, Claudia Mendoza and Barb Mosden. So to remember my name, I would say, well, remember the Z and vote for me. Although my students in my classroom, they do call me Mrs. Pruzhanovsky. I'm not asking for everyone to remember my name, but just to remember the Z's and vote for all three ladies that have the letter Z in their name. Anyone that lives in Chandler, or do you know anyone that does live in Chandler Unified School District? Then please let them know about the ladies with the letter Z in their name. And also, we do have the bond initiative for Chandler Unified, and as Democrats, we are investing in our communities. So we want to make sure our bond passes. So that's a yes for Chandler Unified School District Governing Board bond. So thank you very much, and I appreciate LD12 very much. Thank you very much.
Hello, LD12. My name is Greg Freeman. I'm running for Maricopa County Assessor. Thank you. For all the countywide candidates, thank you so much for all the outreach and the doors that you're knocking on. Running up the score in districts like this is the way that we're going to flip the county offices. So thank you for everything that you're doing. This weekend, I had the misfortune of finally meeting my opponent, cowboy hat and all. And the sign that I'm holding caused him to scream at my campaign manager. How dare I point out how he has mismanaged our money and cost our schools hundreds of millions of dollars. So my simple ask is if you could help me both win an election and upset my opponent and take one of these, put it somewhere publicly, I would love it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all of you that have already told me that you voted. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you, LD12.
That's hard to follow. My name's Janet Hamlin. I'm the campaign manager for the Tempe Together Political Action Committee for the Tempe City Bonds. If you live in Tempe, support your city bonds are normal. They're things we do for schools, for cities. I don't know when they became political, but if you have questions, find me. I'm happy to help answer them. We have a few yard signs left if you'd like a yard sign, but please do support your Tempe City bonds. Also, if you're in Tempe Elementary School District, they also have bonds on the ballot. Please support your schools. Thank you.
If I talk quick before she pushes the button, I'll take her 28 extra seconds. That'll be great. I love that. As a stand-up comedian, I'm used to usually doing like 15 or 20 minutes, so this is going to be tricky. I want to talk about two things. First of all, Greg Freeman, I want you to know that as part of my project with the AZ Dem Voter Guide Project, I was proofreading everybody's voter guides, and one of them actually only used 3 S's in assessor instead of 4. So you didn't know assessor had 4 S's, did you? Nobody ever thinks about that. Anyway, what I want to talk about, Mark Robert Gordon earlier mentioned about flipping the legislature and LD, and earlier you mentioned about LD2. I'd like just to point out to you that with flipping the legislature, there are 10, I believe it's 10 races for the House where we're only running a single Democratic candidate. And there's a whole we'd have to spend 10 minutes talking about this, but there's this technique called single shot voting where you only vote for just one Democrat and you don't vote for the other person. You only cast one vote, even though you can vote 2. So I found some pretty decent explanations of it, and even a really great video from one of the candidates in LD17. So if you go to az.demvoterguide.org, which we told you about earlier, we actually have a nice little explanation of single shot voting. Mitzi knows about it. That's how she got in the first time, right? So anyway, check it out.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Thierry. I'm a candidate for the Tempe Elementary School Board. I wanted to come down and say hi and invite you to check me out. My website's raythierry.org. It's RAYTHIRY.org. I was a public school teacher for 16 years. As a music teacher, I taught in many of the schools here in Tempe for 8 years. I am now working at ASU. My team works to increase college enrollment among low-income first-generation college students. So again, just check out my website. I invite you to check me out. And if you live where I live, please vote for me. Thanks.
Hi. So, I just wanted to say that Allison Ewers, who we all know and love, actually recommends Raymond. That's close enough, and Jim Lemon. Oh, and Jim Lemon and Ray and Allison Ewers. Oh, that is a lot louder. So actually, the reason I wanted to talk real quickly is because you all know I cut the turfs and help with all of that. Why you should vote early. Vote early because then you come off our lists and you make our canvassers more effective. So please, you have the guide, vote early.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon Sauls. I'm the judge of the Kyrene Justice Court. Before I get started, I want to tell you a personal story about myself, and then you guys decide if you want to vote for me in 2025. So I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a cheesehead. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin and then ASU. So last week was Parents' Weekend at ASU, and my daughter invited me to the women's volleyball game, ASU against U of A. I rooted for U of A. I said it's important for the candidates to be transparent, don't you think? She's gonna let me come back to more games. That was the only time I did it. Now, on a more serious note, as a judge, I cannot show favoritism, support for candidates or an issue. I'm gonna tell your story. You decide on how you wanna vote. I have 12 staff at the Kyrene Justice Court. One of my staff came back to work today for the first time because she was on FMLA since about Wednesday. Her sister found out that her baby had no heartbeat for a while. She went to the hospital. They said, there's nothing we can do for you. She went home and expelled the baby on her bathroom floor. I cried with my staff today because she was gone taking care of the baby, and the parents had to come and remove the baby. She went back to the hospital because she was bleeding out. And then they called her back today and said, we don't think all of it is gone. I cannot tell you how I would vote, but I wanted you to know that it's real. All I could do is cry with my staff. I couldn't do anything else for her. She did say that her grandmother is Catholic and votes a particular way. She changed her vote today. So, I always come in to tell you guys you're always welcome to come to the Kyrene Justice Court. I'm switching now. going back to the courts, you guys are invited to come to the Kyrene Justice Court, to the University Lakes, and to San Marcos, because we have ex-legislator Jennifer Germain at San Marcos and Tyler Kissel at University Lakes. So we welcome you guys to come down. I say every time that you hear things like, well, Judge Saul's just evicted a senior. She doesn't care. Judge Saul's just evicted a single mom. You need to be in court to understand why these things happen. Once they get to court, you guys, it's too late for us to do anything. All I can do, I have a social service background, about 30 years, that's aging myself, but I can give resources. I can tell them to go to the Tempe Action Agency, see the Phoenix Human Services Department. But a lot of judges don't have the background to know where to send folks. I also created what I call this, it's a social service resource board. There are 2 of them in my court. When you come into the door and then as you're coming down the hall, you cannot miss resources for veterans, for our homeless and all of that. So that's something that we created at the courts. A little bit more about myself. I'm on what we call CIDVIC. Anybody know what that acronym is? Is the Arizona Supreme Court's Commission on the Impact of Domestic Violence. Any of you folks who've been here a while, like when Janie was running things, you know that I was a victim of domestic violence. That's one of the reasons I became a judge. A lot of folks don't know, I was accused of being the perpetrator. So I was re-victimized. And that was when I decided that I wanted to be on the bench because I saw how those things could happen. I will soon, knock on wood, where's the real wood? I will also be on the Supreme Court's Commission on Judicial Conduct. That means I'll be the judge that tells another judge that you're no longer capable of running. I'll be the judge that tells a judge that you are censored. And so those are the things that I'm doing right now in the court. So again, you're welcome to come down, visit us to see what we're doing. You don't have to come down because it's public, it's open to the public. You can get on, call on, and get on there virtually. If you come into Kyrene and I ask who you are, please tell me who you are because I'm going to cut you off, because we have folks like the Morris Institute that comes in and they'll view the courts and they'll write up these scathing reports about judges don't care, they evict people because they don't care. Again, judges don't make decisions on evicting people. Landlords make decisions to evict people. Judges judge on the rule of law. So I want you guys to understand that. That's why I always invite you down. Now, I am not on the ballot until 25. I have submitted my candidacy paperwork. I brought my paperwork. For those of you who know that I'm an ASU Sandra Day O'Connor grad, but rooted for U of A, if you're still willing to help me. But I'm a University of Wisconsin grad first. So, but thank you guys for allowing me to talk to you. Hopefully we'll see you at the court.
Thank you. All right. We are done with all of our meetings, so I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting at 8:07 p.m. Please make sure that you push your chairs in, help us clean up the space. Let's leave it better than when we found it. All of the agendas, throw them away or take them home with you. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great evening.